everybody out there in DFW Guitarist Land, or maybe also YouTube. Goemon Ronan coming at you here. As a lot of you might have heard, I am kind of toying with the idea of trying to maybe start a guitar company. And by the way, I'm coming to you from my new kind of studio set up in my RV. I've basically converted our old bedroom into kind of a jam room. Actually have a 4x12 cabinet in here. It's important to note, though, that right now the cabinet's a bit damaged. I am only able to use, it's a stereo cabinet, so I'm only able to use the, if you're facing it, the right side of it. But that is still a 2x12 in a very small room. That's powered by a Behringer. I know, don't give me too hard a time about it. It was like under $100 this amp, and it is practically brand new. It's a Behringer VT100 with the virtual tube circuitry turned on. What else is there to say? I have kind of taken to Thomas McLaughlin lately, and like McLaughlin and Hutch and stuff, so I'm kind of trying to replicate his tone a little bit. Of course, he uses Ableton to do that. I am just using the knobs on my amp, so it's a very kind of crude way of doing it, but this is sort of important for what's going to come up later. I'm toying with the idea of making baritone guitars, and there's a lot of debate as to what is actually baritone. For me, it's anything, I would say, 26 and up, but primarily I believe baritone's in the 27 to 28 inch scale range, really. But also baritone's kind of more of a tuning. I have a standard Ep1 Explorer that's technically baritone tuned, and it sounds pretty good, and it's pretty playable. This right here is, let me turn my, had to buy another one of these because I've misplaced the Equinox. The D'Addario Equinox tuners are $20 over at Guitar Center right now. I want to take advantage of that, guys. But what I have for you is a 2021 crafted in China Squier Cabernet baritone in seafoam green, which I don't know, I'm not necessarily in huge love with the color exactly, but like I said, this is more of a test guitar, so it's, the color's not really a relevant thing, but I'm this is an interesting guitar. It's a 27 inch scale baritone. It is tuned to A. It's A standard, right? I wanted to explore A-tuned baritones because, 7 strings in my mind kind of cover the B tuning thing. Although you could tune these to B as well if you just couldn't manage a 7 string. So this guitar has, it's pretty much like a thin line tele without, it has P90s. That's not exactly the most desirable thing for some reasons. Has the stick-in style tuners. I think that's what's going down with Squier now. So you don't have no sticky stuff up here, and it's semi-locking, right? So 2 P90s. There's no special switching to make these series or parallel to each other or anything like that. That would be nice, but there's nothing like that. I would say that the bridge pickups probably high medium output, where the neck is sort of on a lower end of that. Okay. So I'm plugged into the rig I talked about here, and I'm tuned up and everything. And this is both pickups right now. So that would mean that E is right here. So that's kind of an interesting concept. Or sorry, that means D is right here now. And then that would put E right there. So I guess your E major would then be that. It's kind of interesting A tuning because you can kind of think in those terms. This guitar sounds very good clean. I'm only running some virtual tube and delay. There is some delay. So that's both pickups, the volume and tone all the way up. Bridge pickup. Right? Okay, neck pickup. I mean, it's a pretty nice sounding guitar. That is, it sounds pretty good clean. Now, I kind of want to make it just known here that my modeling rig has gone out, so my zoom's not around anymore. My amp head is just a solid state amp head with virtual tubes. It doesn't have any kind of noise gate or anything like that. So what I'm about to demonstrate is kind of what you'd be stuck with, it's officially sunset. My light over there changes to candle over, when it becomes sunset. That's cool. So I'm gonna leave it in the middle here, and I'm gonna turn the volume down. Okay, so we're over. I also want to point out that I do live in an RV, and I might have some type of issue in here. All of my guitars, even my hum-equipped guitars, and I have a guitar with fluences in it over here. It's noisy too. So this is exaggerated a little bit, but it is going to be noisier than anything else I have. Is what I'm saying. So I'm in the middle. This is technically hum canceling. And if I take my fingers off it's not terrible, okay? But so I don't know if you're noticing what I'm noticing there, but it's still a bit noisy, and with this being probably these being 8 or 9K pickups, when you have them in parallel, you're probably down to 2 or 3K. Their output's really compromised, and for me, being kind of a metal guy, that is not, It works. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the... So that is the bridge pickup. I am literally having to speak over it, okay? Okay, so a couple of things there that I'm really noticing are that does sound okay as long as I'm playing, but there's still the bridge pickup is a medium output pickup at best. It has a very George Lynch kind of esque kind of chug to it, but it is very noisy. Neck pickup, same deal, quite noisy. Okay, so there is kind of that, right? It sounds all right. It's okay. For me, especially when you consider that you'd have to really gate this thing live to really be able to play it very well. You're gonna have to gate it to. I've always had to gate P90s. P90s are sort of difficult because, I mean, that does sound. It does sound good, but it is not enough. Though that is not enough of a. That pickup is very low output. So is the neck pickup. Although that does sound nice and smooth and rich and everything. It is still very, very noisy. Just listen to it. Okay, so that's neck pickup. The middle really quiets down, but it's, like I said, it sounds very flabby. And these strings are pretty tight on this thing, despite... I don't know if these are the stock strings or not. They look pretty consistently wound, so they probably are. So that's really all there is to say about this particular machine for me. I think it's very nice clean. I think that it is okay overdriven, but you'd have to gate it to such an extent that it probably wouldn't sound like it should live. And I don't know, it being kind of a clean machine just means that it's not versatile enough, okay? However, the main thing that I do like about it is the scale. I really like the 27-inch scale. It is much more comfortable than this Chapman I have, which I'm about to show you. So make sure and watch the part B video, which will be me kind of showing you the Chapman that I have. See you in a couple.